Hey guys, it's Joshy here and I'm back with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Now this one, originally I was reusing a UU team, but then Joey, who I'll put his channel in the description below, wasn't sure he had anything or didn't have a team, so I just told him to bring whatever in that tier, but he thought I just said bring whatever, so there's a couple of Pokemon above UU but on his team, but it was an alright battle. It was an alright battle once we got a couple of turns into it, because as I'm sure the title or possibly the thumbnail will say once I do it and figure it out, I kind of really stuffed up a bit here at the start. So anyway, we'll get into the battle. So he leads off with his Stitch 2.0, which is his Sableye. Now I thought possibly it's a Prankster Sableye. I should have thought Joey doesn't really play anything under UU at the lowest most of the time, so I really should have doubted the fact that he'd be using a normal Sableye and that he'd most probably be using a Mega Sableye. So going for Magic Bounce was pretty useless because he just went for the Calm Mind. So I was like, great, okay. So you think that was I could have really thought that out and knew that, but that wasn't a bad or stupid start. So here I thought, okay, let's go for the Encore. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. So I didn't realize before, but obviously Encore doesn't work on Encore, because if it does, then you end up with a loop of two Pokemon facing each other using Encore if it happens. So yeah, no. So I thought, okay, well I can't do anything. I'm going to swap out here now. I wish I started with this Pokemon, which I was thinking about, is my Darmanitan, because this turn he goes for the Power Gem, and that's going to slaughter Darmanitan, where if I led with it first and used Z-Snatch, I could have not only got the +2 in attack, especially speed, I would have stolen the Calm Mind boost, which would have been amazing, which I haven't been able to do yet. So anyway, I thought, okay, well, let's fight Mega with Mega. I'll bring in Mega Sceptile. Now, I was deciding on moves, and I was like, I could use Leaf Storm, but I don't want the drop yet. And I thought, oh, good idea. Yet, let's use Leech Seed so it can wear him down. Yeah, I did that. And I was like, breathe. Don't snap the DS. So I still live that. So this turn I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm. So it does, this thing's bulky and it's had two Calm Minds up. So it does under half. So it's a shame I didn't actually get a Dragon Pulse or something off the first turn. And now Sceptile's going to go down as well. So that was just a glorious start. So let's get into the part that turned out alright. So I bring in my Crobat. Now I don't know if I've gone through this set before. It's a recent Crobat I bred. It is actually a max HP mixed defense Crobat, so there's no speed investment, with Brave Bird, Cross Poison, Defog, and Roost. So it actually is really good. Now here, actually my Choppleberry really paid off. Now I'm not totally not intentionally copying that guy in the early stages of the battle tree with a Choppleberry Crobat, but I just thought it's not a bad idea to run on it, because I feel like that's more the attack that I see wide held on different things. So anyway, I get a crit that second time, which is awesome. I don't know if it technically mattered. I wasn't really paying attention there anyway. And I'm able to get rid of that thing. So I'm like, yay, at least I killed one. And then comes in this thing, Porygon 2. So I'm like, oh, I wish I had a knockoff Pokemon on my team this time, and I could make this thing a lot easier to deal with. So I thought, oh well, I'm going to outspeed it. I know that even without any speed investment. I'm a Crobat, crowing it loud. And so he's going to go for the Trick Room. So that worked alright with me. I didn't mind. I'm at full HP. Whatever he hits me with, I'm going to doubt it's going to take me out unless he possibly has a Zap Cannon or a Z move. But saying that, I wasn't planning on staying in. So I thought I'll swap into my Lopunny here. And this Lopunny is max HP, max speed, I believe. And it has decent bulk. So I do take that really well. And I do have the leftovers, but unfortunately he gets that paralysis, which I believe is a 10% chance, possibly, I can't remember, but it was just great. So then I'm going for the fake out anyway, get some damage off. Then he swaps into his Marowak. I'm like, okay, so now I know that's how he's playing. You get a feel for it, know he's swapping out, so now I can make my moves as determined. So I'm getting more HP back, and this thing, I'm hoping it's not a Rock Head Marowak and that it's going to take damage from recoil, but I wasn't sure what to do. So I thought, oh well, I'm going to bring in my Alomomola up because I have the Rocky Helmet, so this thing's going to hit me decently, but it's going to take damage back. So it does a little bit of damage, not too much. Does take Rocky Helmet, and it does take recoil damage, so that's awesome. So I'm like, okay, Now I was tossing out what to use here. So he uses Shadowbone. So I wasn't sure if Rocky Helmet effects on Shadowbone. Does decent damage, but unfortunately it doesn't. I'm going to go for the Waterfall, which is super effective, but doesn't take it out. Now, if I just went for the Surf, which I should have done, I think it would have done a little bit more damage even without investment, because Marowak is quite a defensive Pokemon. And so this turn I decided I'll go for the Surf, and it was just a turn too late. I really wish I went for the Surf, just so I could have seen the damage it did that time. And if it did less, then he might have thought I wasn't that great and would have stayed in. But anyway, so this Celebi is going to be a problem as well, because it's obviously a shiny Celebi as everything else is on this team, but it's just going to be a delight. So I thought I'm going to swap into my Mr. Mime here. This is my Scarfed Mr. Mime with Technician with, what do I have? I have Trick. Trick, Hidden Power Steel, Confusion, and Magical Leaf. So an Icy Wind would be much better on there, especially against a Celebi, but I can't help it. So anyway, he's now going to swap out and bring in his King of the Forest, obviously. And so I'm going to go for the Hidden Power. So I was worried about this, and it does over half. Now, this is where he probably thought he'd outspeed, I don't know, or hoping that I got a low roll the second turn, but I don't, and I am able to take out that thing. So that got rid of that straight off the bat. I was a little worried about that. And so now he brings in Veteran Nick, which is his shiny Weavile. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to outspeed, I know that. So I'm going to get the this off, and it didn't do as much as I had hoped. And so he's going to go for the knock off my Scarf, but I live on 1 HP. I'm like, okay, well, this thing's going to have, well, it's going to outspeed me now most probably, but not just that. It's probably going to have a Ice Shard, which I was correct. And so now it's going to use Ice Shard. I'm going to swap into Olomomola so it doesn't do as much. And if he didn't go for it, at least he was going to hit me with a physical move. So he actually doubles up the Ice Shard, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be close. And I live on 3 HP, and I'm able to get off the Wake Up Slap, which, I mean, from that HP, I'll take it down anyway, but it's 4 times weak. And that Weavile is going down, so I was like, awesome, I got rid of that. That was going to be a worry for me. So now, you know, we're at 3 each. Well, 4 on my side, actually, and 3 on his, but I feel like I'm pretty much out of one Pokemon at this point. So I thought I'll just go for the Wake Up Slap again. I'll get some damage. This thing is bulky as hell with an Eviolite. So that's where knockoff would have been great to have. So I'm going to go down there. Now, it would have been awesome if I still had more HP too and could have survived that, because a Mirror Coat would have done a lot of damage to that thing. So I thought, okay, I've sped this part up. I've actually have 2 little parts sped up in this battle. So I went for the Defog. I was able to get rid of it, get rid of the stones, and he's going to go for Thunderbolt. So it does a fair chunk of damage to me, but it doesn't do enough that he's going to take me out if I use Roost again. So now he's going to go for the Trick Room. I'm like, okay, well, unfortunately I'm not going to outspeed to Roost, so I become just a Poison type. And then he gets a decent hit on me, and it doesn't quite take me out. I may re-heal there, and then he goes for the Ice Beam. I was hoping I'd live. I live on 4 HP. I get frozen. I thaw out immediately, and I'm able to get another Roost off. So I will go down this turn to a hit, so I'm going to swap out. But my point here wasn't actually to be able to do anything, except for the simple fact that I was planning on wasting his Trick Room, because I believe all 3 of his Pokemon are slower than all 3 of mine at this point. The Celebi's the only one I'm not sure of. But I want to be able to get rid of this Trick Room. So here he did swap again. This time he actually swapped in his Celebi. Now, I believe I went for the Ice... Yeah, I went straight for the Ice Punch this time, because I thought if he goes in the Marowak, some damage is better than no damage. And then I get a bit more HP back. I was a bit worried about the paralysis here, because I wasn't sure what he was going to go for, whether it be an attack or what. But now the Twisted Dimensions are returned to normal. It's not going to actually matter, because I'm going for the Magic Coat. So I don't know if he predicted it or if he knew exactly what Magic Coat did at that stage off the top of his head. But he's able, oh, I say it would. But he's able to get a Psychic off. It doesn't do enough that he's going to take me out next turn, which is awesome for me, because now I'm hoping he's going to be more concerned about laying up the rocks, which I'm actually as concerned about bouncing back the rocks, because while the rocks are on the field, that Marowak is useless. So I've just gone for it again, whether he expected it or not. And he's going to go for the Stealth Rock, so I'm like, yes, awesome. That's what I wanted. And, you know, I thought, do I go for an Ice Punch here? Do I go for another Magic Coat? Because do I want to just keep going and force him out? Or what do I want to do exactly? And realistically, I didn't want the rocks on my side that much because Mr. Mime has 1 HP. So unfortunately, I don't. I went for the Ice Punch instead, hoping to get a freeze or something. And he's able to get his rocks up again on my side. So I'm like, oh, damn it. Okay, we can deal with this. We can do something here. So I'm getting a bit of HP back anyway each turn when he's fussing around with his rocks and stuff, and I have the chance to remove him. So anyway, he's going to swap out his Celebi here and swap into his Porygon. So I was expecting something along these lines. So I swapped out, I believe, did I swap or did I stay? No, sorry, I stayed in here and I just went for the Ice Punch. I thought at this stage all I'm going to worry about is if I can get a Freeze Hacks, which I do. I was like, yes, 2 in 1 battle. And I thought out immediately on mine. So I'm like, hopefully we don't see the same from him, because if he stays frozen for just enough, I can deal with it. So I sped this up again. I brought in Crobat. Now he's frozen solid again. I have to go for the Roost, because if he wakes up and hits me with anything at that HP, I'm dead. So he's frozen solid again. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go for the Defog here. I probably should have gone for the Brave Bird. Now, if you just saw then, which I didn't realize at the time, Defog removes the hazards on both sides of the field. I did not know that, and I did not see that. So I was still thinking, right up till I pointed out later, that there were rocks on his side of the field. So now I know that, I would have played that a little bit differently at this stage. But at the same time, I may not have, I'm not sure, but it would have been different. So here I'm honestly just wasting his Trick Room, because that's all I want to do at this stage. And because my rocks are gone, I can do something. You know, I planned this out, and I thought, let's be a bit aggressive. I'm going to go into my Lopunny here. Excuse me. And he's going to go for a Thunderbolt again. I'm going to leave it, obviously. And then he's probably going to do a bit of a repetitive play, because deciding on what to do. So here he swaps his Porygon out and swaps into his Celebi, which is actually exactly what I wanted, because I didn't know how else to deal with this thing. Because I swapped out from my Lopunny straight back into the Crobat. No, so now he has to make the decision, is something going to swap in to a Brave Bird, or is he going to stay in and see what he can do against this Crobat? So the Twisted Dimensions are back to normal as well, so I am now without speed. So I'm going for the Brave Bird so he doesn't swap, because realistically he doesn't want anything to take it, especially that Marowak. So I'm doing over half. There's no way this thing's going to survive a second one. So he goes for the Stealth Rock, so he's worried about the rocks and of anything, because as I said before, while the rocks are up, I cannot bring in Mr. Mime. So he's going to recover a little bit due to leftovers, and I'm going to get another Brave Bird off, and that will be enough to take out this Celebi. So I have really, this Crobat especially, has worked so hard to balancing this match and bring me back in after my dumbass start of a freaking battle. So we're not out of the woods yet, and we still have 3 and he's down to 2, but that doesn't mean anything. So he brings back in Porygon 2, as expected. And I'm like, okay, well this is going to be very repetitive at this stage, but I think my best move at this point is to go for the Defog, get rid of my rocks, so if I want to bring in Mr. Mime, I can bring in Mr. Mime. So he can't reset the rocks, so that's fine. So now he's going to go for the Trick Room. I'm like, okay, well, what is my best choice here? So I was umming and ahhing, and I swapped out here and went into my Lopunny again. I wasn't going to go into Mr. Mime on a free swap like that. Well, it's not a free swap, because he would get hit from any move I have coming my way. So I take that really badly, and I may be able to live another one depending on rolls and everything, but I highly, highly doubt it. And he's going to swap out here into Marowak. Now, this is where I got a little pissed off, because I was surprised this Marowak's still alive. I had all intent that this thing was death fodder with the rocks up. I didn't know where the rocks went until I went back and recorded this and watched the playback, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice that. Because when I asked him, he's like, the Shift Tree got rid of him. I'm like, no he didn't. I got rid of the Shift Tree before the rocks appeared. So now he's going to go for a Flare Blitz. It does, a chunk of damage. So now I thought I'll bring in my Crobat. I should be able to live this. And he goes for the Flare Blitz. Well, I wasn't sure if I'd live it or not, but unfortunately I don't. And Crobat's going down. So the Marowak's are going to go down as well, but that really sucked. So now the Twisted Dimensions return to normal. So I probably should have swapped in my Mr. Mime to take that. So I could have brought back in Crobat, and then it'd probably been a long extended end of the battle with Porygon 2 and Crobat. But I do have the Cross Poison that probably could have poisoned him at some stage, and we could have gone from there. So anyway, I went for the Confusion, and it doesn't do that much because it's a Porygon 2 with Heavy Light, and he's going to take me out with a Thunderbolt. So I'm going to lose that 1-0, but that was a massive comeback from such a dickheadish start. So guys, if you did like that, please do Brave Bird the like button. It always helps out. My Discord is below if you want to battle me. I battle Joey off there a few times a week usually, and a heap of other people. If you have any suggestions, comments, anything, chuck them below. I'll get to them after Sun and Moon comes out. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon comes out, which I'm dying for. This may be out before or after, I'm not sure, but I'm recording before it. But anyway guys, until my next video, I'll see ya.